Alright, how's it going everybody? This is SSG, Scuba Steve Gaming, and today I'm going to present to you my deck profile of World Chalice. World Chalice to this format. I believe this deck is actually pretty good. I'm going to be playing this as my main from now on. I'm in between this one and Blue Eyes Dragon Link. But I feel like this one has a really more of a competitive edge just because a lot of people don't know this deck. I do think that if you actually take your time to get to know this deck and let alone other decks, because what this deck is really good at is being able to create a board against of what your opponent's playing. Also, going second, I feel like this deck isn't that bad just because you build your deck, not your deck, you build your board as you go. So there's not one clear path. There's always different ways where you can make boards. It's not just, you don't have to rely on having her on the field, which is why I think this deck is actually really good, because some people say shine balls are bricks and all that, but I don't believe in that. There's people who think that you can ash this. Yes, you can ash this, but then ash doesn't completely negate for the rest of the turn, so you could activate this yet again, because this is not once per turn. You can just keep going. You'll lose the 500 life points, but you can just keep going. You'll still be able to go through your combo. So Ash and Nibiru are, like, I think the side deck or the main deck. They're seen mostly main deck because everything is so combo heavy. So I guess that's enough, introduction to the deck. I guess I really do love this deck. This is something I love playing all the time. I always try to figure out for the new formats and all that. I don't think anybody's playing the deck like I do. So hopefully by you guys following and subscribing to my channel, you guys will be able to learn all the combos, tips, and tricks I have for this deck. Also, I do stream every Monday through Friday on Twitch. I'm kind of getting the feel of a new schedule, but I'll randomly just start live streaming. So hopefully you guys can go follow me there. I have the link in the description. And yeah, that'll be it for right now. And let's just get right into the deck profile. So obviously for monsters, we're going to be playing 3 Venus. I've been having this rare for the longest time. This is literally your combo starter. It's nice if you draw her, because you can literally, with one card, you can achieve so much. So basically what she does is you pay 500 life points, special summon a shine ball from the deck. So you'll be able to special summon these guys straight from the deck. Deck, hand, deck or hand, not the graveyard. If it was graveyard, this card would be nuts, but just deck and hand. People say, I don't get it why people say that shine balls are bricks, but this deck thrives on normal summons. So having this enables you plays. That's one thing that bugs me about people that play World Chalice and then they say, yeah, so what happens if you draw all 3 shine balls? Well, technically it's not a brick. You could still play through your boards. Obviously, if you have this, it'd be so much better because you're just relying on one summon and summoning three more. This does require like a little bit more thinking process, which I feel like a lot of other people don't take time to do. So hopefully by you guys watching this video, you guys will learn something. Next, you play 3 World Legacy or World Chalice Fairy. When you normal or special her, you can special summon, or you can add 1 World Chalice card from your deck to your hand. Then also her grave effect actually comes in handy. You can send 1 card from the field or your hand to the graveyard to add this back to your hand, which comes in super clutch when you want to draw cards, because adding her to your hand, having a World Chalice name in your hand is actually really good in this deck. Next card is going to be World Legacy World Chalice. This card is insane. A lot of people don't know his first effect is where when your opponent special summons from the extra deck, you could tribute this card and send that card to the graveyard. It doesn't target or anything, it just sends the card they summon to the graveyard, which is actually really good. A lot of people don't know that, and that doesn't have to be normal. You could just special that. So if you have one of these in hand and you're able to special summon a World Chalice card, you can summon this and just have it for that, which is actually really good. First effect that you want to be using is when it's sent from the field to the grave, you can special summon 2 World Chalice cards from your deck, any 2, just as long as they're different names. And then its other effect is from the grave, you could banish it to add a World Legacy card from your deck, from your grave to hand, which is actually really good, or deck to hand. Yeah, from deck to hand. Next, best one is Chosen. Depending on the, just depending on which one you're playing, depends on how your deck is built around. A lot of people like building this around Chosen, because you know he's a Chosen, because he's an E-Tele target, he's a psychic. Or some people like playing rank 4 toolbox with what's his name? Beckon, because Beckon's a level 4, he's a warrior, and you can just play the Xyz toolbox. Next card in here is gonna be crazy. I don't see anybody really playing these cards. So from my understanding, as long as you link summon, not as soon as you link summon, but when you do link summon, this card is live. So further down your combos, you are able to special summon this as long as it's pointing to a link arrow, which you will always have. So I feel like this is actually really good, because then it's just link fodder and stuff like that. Plus it's sort of a beat stick, I guess, sort of. And that's it for 3-ofs. Yeah, you play a lot of 3-ofs in this deck. Next thing, the only hand traps I'm running is gonna be at least the monster hand traps. I'm only running 2 Ash. You don't really want to draw too much into these. They're nice to have, but you want to see your other combo starters. But just in case if you're going second, you know, you have a chance to draw this card. And that's it for 2-ofs. Everything else is 1-of. So for your Evo package, it's going to be Herald of Orange Light and Trickstar Lilybell. So what's cool about this is during the combo, you can go into Union Carrier. Union Carrier, you equip this to one of the Shine Balls, and then you link that Shine Ball into a M-Duck, and then when this goes to the grave, you can banish 2 other fairy monsters from your graveyard to add 2 level 2 fairy monsters, up to 2 level 2 fairy monsters from your deck to your hand. So I like grabbing these 2, because obviously it's a hand trap, which is actually really good, and you have a lot of fairies, so it's kind of almost live. And then Lilybell Trickstar, because when you add this to your hand, you're able to special summon it, so it gives you that link fodder, which is really good. That's it for that. And then power 1-ofs, I guess. A lot of people like playing this at 2 or 3, but honestly, one for me is just fine. You draw a lot in this deck, and if you, I just experienced, like, if you play more than 1, 2 is kind of like okay, but I feel like you could use that slot for something else. Yeah, this special summons itself and shuffles everything back, but sometimes you don't want to shuffle everything. So that's why I choose 1, just in case, you know, for those late games, you know, those grindy matches, you know, just reshuffle everything, and then you got all your combos back up live again. And then Arc Lord Christia, kind of self-explanatory, I guess. Special him, and then your opponents are going to struggle to out him. So I'm not playing the Gamma Seal in this deck. I know a lot of people like playing that in the World Chalice, but I kind of want to just, you know, recreate the mold. You know, a lot of people are playing that and expecting that, so I just want to be different, I guess. So for World Chalice targets, I guess 1 dog. A lot of people are playing 2, and 1 Beckon. I like having Beckon because it's just an extra. If I had room, I would put this to 2 if I had room, other than the dog. Dog is cool because he's a hand trap, but then again, you don't really use him. Once you use him once, you're good. But yeah, Beckon Beckon just because he's another name, another target. He's a normal. It's good to have. And then the spice, the sauce, the tech, code breaker, 0 day. His effect doesn't really apply to anything. His effect actually doesn't really matter. It's him enabling some other link plays that I'll show you. So that's enough of the monster lineup. Next is gonna be spells. Great 1-ofs. World Legacy Heart, Emergency Teleport. I wish I had a different one, not gold. World Legacy Succession, Called by the Grave, Upstart Goblin, and Monster Reborn. These cards are insane. Having Called by the Grave is still so good. Catching somebody off guard with this is nuts. Monster Reborn, self-explanatory extender, Upstart Goblin, 40 card deck, make it 39. World Legacy Succession, you get a set that's literally just directly from the deck. Emergency Teleport, extender, literally same thing. If you are in late game, you draw this, you could just have more targets in hand to special summon World Chalice cards. Enough of the 1-ofs, 2-ofs, Transmigration, and Unexpected Die. Unexpected Die, you want to see it, but after you use it once, it's kind of dead unless they wipe your board. But that's kind of rare because even if they do wipe your board, your monsters quote unquote float because you get a special summon more from the hand. So Unexpected Die, like if you see it in the beginning, cool. If you don't, it's good discard fodder. Transmigration, same thing. If you don't open up Venus, but you open up all the other level 2s, which you have right here. These. That's 3, 6. What is it? 7, 8 targets. 8 targets for level 2s, so you can go into 3 to Venus. All of these, besides these 2, you're playing 1-ofs, but you're playing 3, 6, 7, 8. So if you have any of these, you can normal it, activate Transmigration, go into Venus, and then special summon the Shine Balls, and you're back into your combo. Which is kind of good with Lee. If you have this and that, that's actually really good because then you could search a card. So yeah, that's them too. Transmigration still come in handy. You don't want 3 because the same thing as Unexpected Die. After you see it once, you don't want to see it again. And for the last 2, obviously the other 2 hand traps. Now I do believe in playing 5 hand traps, but because I couldn't find room. If I really want to, I could take out Upstart Goblin and put another Ash Blossom. If that's something you guys want to do, that would be perfect. Having 5 hand traps, I think, is very good. But because I want to play Upstart and I just want to see other cards, I feel like this is perfect. This hasn't really how do I say it? This deck hasn't failed me. So far, all the hands I had, I've been able to make, great plays. Not all the time they're going to be amazing. Of course, you always can have that one hand, but the majority of the time, you will have plays to play, and you will be able to make boards. So, I like the ratio. This is a 40 card deck. And now for the extra deck. Alright, we're going to start off with the 1-ofs. Or not the 1-ofs, we're going to start off with our Link ones. All we play is Link monsters. We don't play anything else. So, this deck is really good in Link climbing. I think it's one of the best decks to Link climb. Feel free to tell me if there's any other deck that you guys know of down in the comments that actually can perform like this to Link climb. But I feel like this deck just gives you so much advantage just because of the Link monsters. But anyways, you got M-Duck. M-Duck's first effect I've gotten a couple times to some people. If it's pointing to a monster your opponent controls, you could attack it and then immediately, without going into damage calculation, send it to the graveyard. It is actually really good. It's so good. It's come so many times. A lot of people don't read on that. Next's effect is lets you normal summon an additional normal summon for World Chalice monsters, which comes in clutch. And then all the World Chalice have the same effect, where when they get sent from the field to the grave, you get a special summon one World Chalice monster from your hand, and then it's not once per turn. That part is just nuts. You could summon as many of these, and they will all just activate. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how it works. I am 100% sure that's how it works. Then you got Link Spider. Of course, if you are opening up nothing but normal monsters, this card helps you with those plays. Salamander Great Almirage. If you don't have any other cards and you're only able to summon that World Legacy World Chalice, this could get rid of it, activate it, get two special 2. You got combo again. Then for our 2-ofs, or not our 2-ofs, our Link 2s, we got Ib, the World Chalice Priestess. Really good. She could protect linked cards. She has a great right, if she's co-linked, she cannot be destroyed by card effects. Your opponent cannot target this linked card with effects. Yep. So whenever this is linked, which most of the time they're going to be linked, because all it has to do is just point to another card, they cannot destroy this card with card effects. Lib is freaking broken. If you have a World Legacy card in the graveyard, you can summon her. Also, if you have a World Legacy card while she's on the field, you can set one spell or trap World Legacy card from your deck to the field, so you don't add it to your hand, which is good because it doesn't get Ash Blossom. And then you could activate it that same turn if you have a World Legacy card in your graveyard, which is nuts. Next, Union Carrier. Union Carrier, kind of self-explanatory, but a combo enabler for sure. Nightmare Phoenix, get rid of the back row. Those are the 2s. Now we go on to the 3, well, let me just explain this right here. This helps out the deck so much. I feel like this is probably why the deck, I think it's gonna be could be competitive, could be really good, because once you make Appaloosa, you could go into these 2. As long as you can get 2 monsters to summon this, 2 monsters, you can summon this right here, and as long as they're co-linked, you get a special summon 1 code breaker from the deck, hand, deck, or graveyard, so it doesn't matter. So let's just say you summon it, which is pretty easy to do in this deck, and there's no fallbacks or anything. There's just none besides taking up these spots, but after that you're just gonna link into them. The only downside this guy has is whatever link monster is pointing to it loses 1,000 attack. It's not permanent, it's just once while it's on the field. So then you go into a link 3, right, and you go into this dude. Now this dude does require 2 codebreaker monsters, so when you do summon him, obviously it's going to be co-linked, and you're going to be able to do this all before Nibiru. You could summon this out way before Nibiru and still have enough to go into this play. So you'll have this will activate, so this lets you special summon 2 codebreaker monsters from your graveyard. So you're going to special summon this and this, and they have to be 2 warp cards point to. And then from right here you can just go link summon into something that you want. You got a 3, you got a 2, and then you got this guy just 1. This is all just link fodder, just being able to link line. So this is a really good, and you don't have to require so much. Like, this is not even, I wouldn't even consider this a brick, because you could still normal summon it. It's 1800 attack. I feel like this engine is actually really good. It's not, you need 2 slots for your extra deck and 1 from the main deck. Simple, easy, nice. Of course we play Appaloosa because, you know, Nibiru and other monster effects. Then the other 3, Ningritsu, and Trigate Wizard. You could take out Trigate Wizard, but I feel like Trigate Wizard is actually really good in the deck because you can make it, co-link it with the Phoenix, co-link it with the whatchamacallit, either if you have the plays, either Avermax, which we play for our final and 15th one, you can link it, you can co-link it with Avermax, Nightmare Phoenix, and then have Appaloosa on the top, and then there you go. You got a pretty good board. You got this for interruptions, plus you got like 5 cards in hand, which could be 2 hand traps. That's why I feel like this deck is actually really good. You just build a bunch of negates, and they're forced to be in attacking hand. So yeah, a lot of decks. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of decks. There's a couple decks that struggle dealing with this card, which is why I like playing him, because he's cool. Yeah, of course you can make what's his name? The Dragoon card, that Dark Magician and Red Eyes thing, whatever, in here, but I literally couldn't find room. You would have to take out another engine for him, and you could probably take out Trigate Wizard and put something else, put Anaconda, and probably take out the Link Spider if you really wanted to risk that. But yeah, that's something you can do. That's something you could think about. But other than that, I feel like this board right here is just disgusting. Attack him. If they find a way to beat over him, that he can't be destroyed by battle. They'll still have to come and attack him again, which is nuts. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys like the deck. Hopefully you guys appreciate it enough. Feel free to follow, like, subscribe. I'm gonna be doing a little bit more deck profiles. I have a lot of decks coming up in mind. I have a lot of them that I'm trying to work on. Just trying to get my 2 cents into this deck. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to play this deck, to be honest. But yeah, feel free to check out my videos, and thanks for watching. Peace.